Hey, how y'all doing out there in video land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, today, I just want to have a little discussion. Today's Sunday. I just want to have a little Spyderco discussion. I haven't been talking too much about my favorite Spydercos lately, and I decided to break them out. Let's have a little discussion about my Spydercos. These are my two favorite models from Spyderco. These are the two models I carry all the time. If I'm going to carry a Spyderco, it's going to be one of these two models. These two models, the Manix 2XL, my first love, my first Spyderco love. This is like the first Spyderco that I got into. It's the Manix 2XL. This is a CPM 30V. CPM 30 S30V. Made in USA, Golden, Colorado. Absolutely love this knife, people. This one's got bladescales.com scales on it. It's got a custom backspacer. I can't remember if I found it on Etsy or eBay. One of those two, I found this backspacer. It's aluminum backspacer. And that's about it for the custom. Oh, that's got the Fly titanium ball cage. That's a titanium ball cage. It has the stock stainless steel ball bearing in it. That's one thing I've always done to the Manix 2XLs. I always change the ball cage. I always go with the Fly titanium ball cages. So if you see any of these that are in my collection, they always got the Fly titanium ball cages. I have also another one of these, a DLC. This is DLC coating. DLC coated. It's a flat DLC. DLC coated Manix 2XL. It's my collector. It's one just like this, only it's all stock. It has the black G10 handle scales on it, and it doesn't have the Fly titanium ball cage in it. It has the standard polymer ball cage that they come with. And doesn't have the backspacer, it has barrel spacers with the G10 handle scale. Or that, it's just like this, it's all blacked out. But it's brand new, it's never been used. It's my collector. This is my user. I carried the mess out of this knife. I absolutely love the Manix 2XL. It's one of my favorite knives of all time. It's in my top 5. My top 5 folders of all time, you'll find the Manix 2XL in it. It's one of my absolute favorite knives. It's basically a right-handed knife, though, because you sort of need to use the pocket clip to fire it. So if you want to make it a left-handed knife, you need to totally switch the pocket clip all around, and then it's easy to use with your left hand. Without the pocket clip, this one's hard to use without the left hand. I mean, in your weak hand. It's not too bad to open it up, but it's kind of hard to close it. So it's not my favorite hand. It's not my favorite knife for a right-hand use. But I absolutely love this knife. It's an awesome slicer, awesome cutter. It's an awesome utility knife. It's a great self-defense folder if need be. The ball bearing lock from Spyderco is a very strong and dependable lock. It's not a triad lock. You know, it's not an Atlas lock. It's not a shark lock, but it is a very strong lock. It's not a deadbolt, but it is a very strong lock, people. I would highly recommend it. That one has the green OD green micarta scales on it from bladescales.com. Absolutely love this knife, people. It's almost a 4-inch blade, full flat ground. It's a beautiful knife. The handle grips on these are super comfortable. Highly recommend it. Manix 2XL. And this is my other one in crew wear. This is the one that I presently carry all the time. This one was the one I used to carry. I can't remember if I got this one like in 2016, 2017, 2018, somewhere around in there. Can't remember when I exactly got it. But this one right here has been the one that took its place in my rotation drawer. This one's been in my rotation drawer since I've owned it. And it's going on a couple of years now, I think. Like 2.5 years or something that's been in my rotation drawer. Absolutely love it. What is it? It's the crew wear. It's a crew wear. Yeah, it is. It's a crew wear. Just like the other one, only it's done in crew wear. And this one doesn't have any finishes on it. Doesn't have any DLC finishes on it. And let me see what else can I tell you. It's got the bladescale.com handle scales on it. These are natural JG10 scales. It's got the fly titanium ball cage on it, titanium ball cage. Again, with the standard stainless steel ball bearing in it. I polished all the parts on this one. This is my absolutely favorite Manix 2XL, people. This numero uno with me. I love my original. I love my original. But this one is taking over my pocket. I love this one, though. This one's the one that you want if you're a soldier. Or if you're an operator, mercenary, special forces, Delta Force, whatever, law enforcement, what have you. I would rather have this one. Why? Because incognito, it's dark, and it's not flashy, it doesn't reflect light. It's a little bit more hidden. This one right here, this is like the civilian issue one to me. All my shiny blades, I call them civilian blades, and all my darker blades, I call them, military tactical blades. But, right now, I used to be in the military, but right now I'm a civilian, so I like to carry this one, people. I actually like to use this one for food prep. I like uncoated blades more for food prep. That's probably the reason why this one gets carried more nowadays. Absolutely love them, people. Manix 2XL. I highly recommend the Spyderco Manix 2XL, people. Any of the Spydercos in this form with the ball bearing lock, I think they have with the Manix 2 and the Manix 2XL. I recommend either one of them, whichever one that, is your preference. I choose this one because it fits my hand the best. I like the size of it. Same thing goes for this, because they got with the paramilitary. I can't keep up with the paramilitaries. They got the paramilitary 2 and 3, and then they got the military. The military is the one for me because of the size of the knife. The first one I got was this one. This is S30V model with the G10 handle scales with the embedded full stainless steel line embedded liners. S30V. I carried the mess out of this knife when I first got it. I carried the mess out of it. I absolutely love it, people. This is an awesome folder. This is an awesome knife. It's a great knife for food prep. Mainly, for why you do at my job. I like to fix my own lunches at lunchtime and stuff like that. And at break time, I like to fix my own snacks and things. And that's when this knife shines, because it's an awesome food prep knife. Both of these knives, both of these knives are like food prep knives for me. I absolutely love the Spydercos because I think they're the best at food prep. And when I was a soldier, I always carried a knife, people, but I never used it for combat purposes. I used it for food prep purposes and for setting up camp, setting up pup tents and stuff. I was in the infantry in the army stationed in Germany. And we used to go to reforgers. I'm sure a lot of the new soldiers don't know what a reforger is, but if you're in the military in the 70s and 80s, you know what a reforger is. And we used to go to reforgers. Those are simulated wars that are done with all the with all of our NATO allies. And, we used to train to fight Russia. But I used to always carry a folder, but I never use it for any kind of tactical or combat purpose. I always use them for food prep and setting up camp. More of a utility type purpose. And for that, this knife would shine. This knife would shine. It shines as a food prep knife. Absolutely love it. Great self-defense folder, too. Because of the size of it, makes it a great self-defense folder. Here's my newest one. I had to get the camo and the military version of it. It is the military, right? So you gotta have the military version. Absolutely love it. DLC coated blade. Absolutely love it. Camo G10. Blacked out hardware. And now we're gonna get into the one I carry all the time. This one I haven't really ever carried. This one I carried extensively. This one was carried extensively, and this one still is carried extensively right now. And the other one I carry right now, yes, it's my other crew wear. It's my crew wear, people. This is the one that rides in my pocket all the time to work. This one gets used all the time. It's my crew wear. It's got brown micarta handle scales on it with the CPM crew wear stainless, not stainless steel, but I would call it semi-stainless because it doesn't stain very easily. And I've been using this now for almost a year and I haven't had any stain issues. But then again, I always wash and clean things as soon as I get done using them. So it doesn't really get a chance to stain. I keep things dry, and I live in California, so we don't have a whole lot of moisture where I live in the air. I don't live near the ocean. I live more inland in 916 area code. But this is an awesome, awesome blade, people. Highly recommend the micarta crew wear. And I know they got the new one out. The S90V. Oh yeah. Carbon fiber scaled. Oh yeah. Military too. That one's tempting, people. But I'm not a big fan of, super, I don't know, edge holding steels because they usually tend to be kind of on the brittle side. But I understand S90V is a good one though. I was sort of turned off by S110. But the S90V is kind of tempting though, but I don't really want to spend the big bucks to get that, especially when I already got all the ones I really need and really like. But if I didn't have all these right now, I probably would have gotten the S90V and the carbon fibers. So I'm just letting y'all know it's out there right now if you want to get it. I'm totally satisfied with my micarta crew wear. These are my favorite ones, are the crew wear ones. Crew wear, because you got a thin, very thin, slicey blade with a thin blade tip. I don't really want a brittle steel. I'd rather have something that's a little bit tougher, like crew wear, especially with this kind of blade profile and the way that this blade's ground. I don't want it to be a very brittle steel because if you do anything that's like self-defense wise, the blade might snap. The crew wear, I got faith in crew wear, just like 3V and M4, CPM M4 and CPM and 3V and crew wear. I like them all, people. I think they're all great steels. But that's about it for these. These are my favorite Spydercos. I just did this for all my Spyderco people out there. And let y'all know that I love Spydercos too. And these are the ones I love. These are the ones I've been, carrying and using the most over the years since I've been into Spydercos. I got into Spydercos like around, I want to say it's 2016. I'm going to say it's like 2016 when I started getting into Spydercos. And this was my first one. And I've tried others too. I've tried the, let me see, the sliver axe, the amalgam, and was it the Trojan? I forget the name of that one, people. I tried one other one that was a new compression lock one also. It's one of the models made in Taiwan. And I tried that one. I didn't really care for it that much. The sliver axe was kind of cool, and the amalgam's kind of cool. But I like these, people. These are the ones I like. I like these. These are all American-made ones, too. The ones I like are all American-made ones. The other ones that are like the runner up to these for me are my sliver axe, because I like carrying that one too. But it didn't have very much detent, and it damaged one of my pockets one time when I was drawing it out my pocket, sliced up a pocket because it came undone and caught the edge of the pocket and sliced up the pocket. But so I prefer a little bit more detent than that one has. But I actually love the knife very much. I like the way it grips in my hand. I think it makes a great self-defense folder to sliver axe, but it needs more detent. I like the amalgam too. Amalgam too is another great one that they're making. And but again, my preference are these. My preference are these, people. And I think these are the same thing. People are going to ask me, well, why don't you try the Paramilitary 2 or Paramilitary 3? They're the same thing as these, only they're smaller. And I'm not a smaller knife person, people. The knives I like to carry are, a small knife for me would be a 3-inch blade knife, and there's really only one 3-inch blade knife I really want to carry. It's 80-20.5, and a micro blade for me would be a 2.75-inch blade, and there's only really one of those I want to carry too, and that's the Shark Cub 80-20.5. And when it comes to 3.5-inch blades, well, there's a lot of 3.5-inch blades I really like, but the one I like the most, yes, it's the Shark Lock 80-20S models. So, you know, that's where I go with those. And then when you get to the 4-inch blades, there's lots of them I like. Because now you get out of the Demko knives, because Andrew Demko doesn't make a 4-inch blade knife, you know, 4-inch blade folder, you know, for us to carry. So that's why I get into my militaries, my Man X2s, my Tau Wars, my Recons, my large Voyagers. I'm trying to think of all the 4-inch blade knives I really like. Oh, not my Manix, but my Microtech MSI and amphibians, and 80-15s and 80-10s. 80-10s are 3.5-inch blades too, though. And 80-15 they advertise as a 3.5. That's actually a little bit. It's more like a 3.7. But the 80-10, I forgot about that one too. That's another one of my favorite 3.5-inch blade folders I really like. But when it comes to knives that I choose for when I want to do whenever I go to work, I know that I'm going to be doing a lot of food prep, you know, for the kind of lunch that I want to make, you know, whether it be salami, cheese, or, you know, anything like that, you know, where you have to do some actual, you know, food prep and slicing and stuff like that with food. I will carry one of these to work. I will carry one of these that day, because these are my best food prep knives. The other one that I have really good that's from Cold Steel, that's a great food prep knife, is my Holdout series knives. The Holdout series knives are like to me, like a folding chef's knife. Those are excellent for food prep too. But other than that, these are my favorite food prep knives, people, and that's the main reason why I like these. These are great self-defense knives too. Don't get me wrong; these are great self-defense knives. Both of these, you know, I totally trust the compression lock, and I totally trust the Manix ball bearing locks. These are the two locks from Spyderco that I really like. The other lock I really trust from Spyderco is the Spyderco power lock. I have two Chinooks with the power lock. That's a super strong lock too. That's more like having a triad folder though. It's not really a fidgeting folder. It's more, you know, in the grounds like I'm a triad folder. And I don't think they make those anymore, the power locks from Spyderco, but those are super strong locks too. But actually, my present favorite locks from Spyderco would be the compression lock and the ball bearing lock. I don't really care for their back lock folders, people. A lot of people always suggest that I should try out one of their, one of their different back lock models. Their back lock models are like the old style, conventional back lock. And they don't do it the best. I never thought Spyderco back locks were that great, because I've tried one before and it failed on me. I can't remember which model it was, but it failed on me on a spine whack. Couldn't hold up to a spine whack. But for backlock folders, the only kind of backlock folders I really buy anymore would probably be a buck knife, because buck knives are the original backlocks. And so I got nothing but respect and love for buck knives. I carried buck knives for a lot of years. I love buck knives. But other than that would be the Demko triad lock, people. I'm not really a backlock person anymore unless it's a triad lock. Or like I said, I like to collect the old buck knives too. But I don't really carry the buck knives anymore like I used to. You know, that was what I used to carry in the 70s and the 80s. You know, but since the triad lock came out, that sort of took over the backlock status for me. That's like the number one choice for backlock, is a triad lock, which is to me like the number one choice for a survival folder, a combat folder, a self-defense folder, emergency response folder. I would pick triad folders for all those situations over any other knife on the planet. But for knives I like to carry every day, I like them to be a little bit more fun than a triad folder sometimes. And I tend to like to carry knives that I can open and close with one hand without putting my hand in the path of the blade. And that's where these knives come in handy. You know, the compression lock folders, the ball bearing locks, I don't know, all the different types of locks that there are. There's so many locks out there, people, I can't name them all. The Shark lock, the Atlas lock, blah, 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 blah. You know, the Able lock, the XR lock, the Axis lock. I like the locks I can open and close knives with one hand with ease. That's why I like the best nowadays. That's why I've sort of have evolved into, and that's why I like. And I know that a lot of these locks aren't necessarily the strongest locks. I'm not saying that they're the strongest locks, but they are the most convenient and they are the most fun for me to use. And so that's why I choose to use. I still carry my my triad lock folders, because there's a lot of triad lock folders that are out right now that I can use with one hand, like the 8010. I absolutely love them, people. These are my choices. Peace out, Stiletto.